The negative rate policy, is it working?
Yeah, I think this is one of these counterfactual problems. It's really difficult to find evidence of it making a difference to the economy going forward, but if it wasn't there, it would probably be worse. Now, employment's actually pretty good in Japan. There are early signs of inflation in Japan. In that sense, it may be working, but it's not getting through into growth. And I think that's the problem central banks have all over the world. You need to shift the policy, you need to shift the baton to the fiscal side of it to see if it makes a difference.
With their tiered structure, though, they could take rates a lot more negative than where they are now.
Yeah, but again, we were talking about bank profitability earlier on, and they've been quite careful about it. This whole tiering approach is partly to help the banks avoid getting hit really hard with that. So yes, they could try and do more, but it's not helped the Swiss National Bank. It's not helped in Denmark. I don't think it's really helped in Euroland either. So we'll see. I mean, they're going to give us a paper assessing the difference monetary policy has made. I think we'll get to digest that before we see any action from the banks. So very little next week, but November again, maybe late October again before we see any action from them.
Will the Japanese be the first to do helicopter money?
Possibly. I'm not convinced helicopter money works. If you look at the way it can get done, it either leads to zero interest rates forever, or actually you make your fiscal deficit worse. And I think they're very aware of that, but in some ways they've kind of gone there already. What they've been doing in terms of ETF purchasing, what they've been doing, buying right the way through the curve, they might. We've seen it before in Japan. They tried a voucher system, our Ricardian equivalents kicked in and people didn't spend it. So, maybe they get once burnt, twice shy. I don't think they should. I think they might.
There is so much speculation, Luke, that we are heading to the end of monetary policy, and Japan has led the way. Negative rates, I mean, they were after the Swiss, of course, and Denmark, but they also now buy exchange-traded funds. Is this something you anticipate any of the other central banks getting in on?
I hope not. As an investor, I'd like something left to invest in, and it's no good if your central bank owns all of your market. It makes life really, really hard for investors to make money going forward and make sensible investment choices. Japan's got a particular problem with demographics that they need to sort out. They're going to try and encouraging people to take that riskier attitude. I don't think the ECB's got the tolerance to be buying equities or even the political backing, and that's certainly the case for the MPC as well.
Is the ECB's biggest problem that elsewhere we can see fiscal policy picking up the baton? In Europe, A, the political timetable, B, the political desire, certainly in countries like Germany, is simply not there to make that happen. The ECB's got a much bigger problem, therefore, with this baton passing that you talk of. Yeah,
it's an enormous problem for them, and it's why we're likely to not see much fiscal stimulus in Europe. But what they'll do is relax the fiscal rules, relax the fining people for fiscal rules. We've already seen this year. Perhaps just quietly ignore, in a classic Brussels fashion, obfuscate that you're actually letting fiscal balances get worse without fining people for doing it.